Hello. Welcome back to another episode of Wren's Wasteland Camp Reviews / Dumpster Fires of the Commonwealth. Um, we're here outside of Nuka World on tour and just outside of this lovely little town of Lewisburg. I have a really crappy build on this character that's right up here that I built. It's kind of a restaurant theme that I'm still trying to figure out. The hardest part about it was getting these stairs to go exactly the way that I wanted them to, but this is the kitchen pretty much, and it's pretty crappy, as you can tell. And then you go up here, and you got a stairwell going up, and you got your little dining room up here. This is where I figured the person that, greets you at the front and the musician that works here would be at. And then up here is where your bathroom is, and somebody did a number on this one over here. So it's like totally trashed out. And then up here is where the character would live at, up here with their bathroom up here and a little apartment. I'm still not happy with it. I may tear it down before it actually gets too much further than it is. Um, and as you notice, there's no real workbenches in here except maybe the cooking bench, and everything else is back here, including the power and, all this stuff. So, I don't know. I just can't decide if it's what I want to do with it or not. But it's a location that I like, and I've done a few things here before, and this is me testing out different crap to see if I can get it to work. And I planted a few plants and threw down some stuff. Um, my issue, as always, is do I actually like it enough to keep it? So now, this server has people on it, but they are not. Well, they're all over at Moonlight Jamboree. So we're going to check out Mr. Tripps's camp over here. And hopefully we'll find something good, but I'm not 100% sure I will, because I've looked around this server and like the server has changed twice since I've been on it. And by that I mean like the people have cycled through, and I recorded something earlier and I'll probably trash it. This one here is literally hanging out in the middle of nowhere. It uses the Vault Tech build kit. It also uses the greenhouse build kit. As far as stuff in his vendor, he's not too bad. I mean, there's some stuff in here that I could buy, like these things, but no, I'm not gonna buy that. Not gonna give myself that big a cap deficit. And there's this right here. So now I don't know if you've looked here, but it's not a bad little camp. I mean, it's not a good little camp either. He's got or she has quite a little bit of, because I don't know if it's male or female at this point. I know what the name says, but it doesn't actually mean anything, as we all know, because I'm running around on Calamity, and he could be doing the same thing, so, you know. But it's a collector's camp. They have quite a nice little collection of things, but as far as building goes, they have very few, um, I don't know how to put it. It's a warehouse build. It really is. It doesn't really do anything except, And here's his Mr. Trips or Ms. Trips. I don't know. Camp. It's not, big. It's not bold. It doesn't make a real good statement except to stay tripping and boo you whore. But it is not, what I would call a great camp. It's not bad. It's not good either. It's one of those number two camps. And I don't know if I ever explained this to you, but whenever I rate a camp number two, I'm thinking that it's shit in my head, because that's what usually a number two is in the bathroom. Um, Dasuria's camp. Oh man, I know I mispronounced that entirely. But I also didn't name it, so I didn't have to figure out how to pronounce it. And you see how I write Ren, so you can imagine how I pronounce things. And the way that I write things, it would be totally crazy. Ooh, this is actually looking like a house. Let's take a quick peek here. We've got the fog machine on to make it look all nice and dreary. By the way, if you have one of these out and your camp gets nuked, I want to know what it does. So let me know if it actually saves your camp or not, because these things kind of create a bubble of environment around you, and I'm wondering if it like eats the nuke stuff. You know what I mean? I haven't seen anybody test it, so I'm kind of curious about how that's going to work out. So, yeah, let's check out their vendor here and see what they've got. Quite a few little things. Not bad pricing on anything, really. Nothing really great, but some stuff, if you didn't have it, you'd want it. Like, I mean, the gulper rug, for instance, or the heads. I mean, nothing's really overpriced. There's a few pieces of ultrasite that, are a little higher than some people would sell them for, but I understand. You gotta get what you can get. But let's take a quick peek around here. We've got this, you know, I want to say this is the hot rod stand for your power armor frame. And you've got quite a few different, it's got a different layer to it. And they've built it at not quite a half height. So they went to a lot of trouble to actually sink this floor where they could have done it. Um, if they watch the video that I have on how to make sunken floors, you can literally use a stair post and sink it down half a wall height, and it'll save you a lot of work and trouble, especially when it comes to the roof. They have built this in an area where they have a decent view. I want to say this also has, if I remember right, node. That's kind of weird. Big money rip. There should be a node here for, or is it over there? It might be further over, but there should be like a lead node somewhere around this location. They might not have built right on top of it, but it's an interesting build. I mean, I like the fact that the plushies are plotting to take over the world with the alien. And they've even got a plushie over there that needs to be executed for its traitorous behavior. I like the party atmosphere up here and the bartender. And I have not thought to do that, but that makes sense. At least that way we would put him at the right height so you can see him properly. And they've got a bit of a collection up here in a heart-shaped bed, which is, always nice. And cat pictures. Who doesn't like cat pictures? All right. So the only complaint that I have is they might should have picked a different wall texture for this wall right here on the interior, or double walled these walls to get it looking a little better. But I understand with the roof, the way that he built it, or they built it, that they wanted probably a certain wall on the outside edge and didn't understand how to do that, which is actually pretty common. And they don't appear to have the gantry stairs set, which means the next scoreboard is going to be one of their favorites because they're going to get a nice set of wooden stairs that are like the wooden, what do you call it, cabin foundation set. Is supposed to be on the next scoreboard, by the way, again. I like the half walls up here as rails. I mean, this might be the whole reason why they sunk the floor the way they did, was so they could set this up without having a problem. It's a nice touch, especially with the glass walls. The only problem, like I said before, is whenever you're building and you have to do that, is getting your roofs to line up properly, and they've done a really good job of it. The only tile that's out of sync is this one right here, and maybe the one I'm standing on. But they have gone out of their way to try and get it to look right, so can't give them any negatives for that. But overall, I mean, the roof itself is one of those areas where I can give you a negative points at because it doesn't quite match out. Like it, there's better ways to do it. They could have made this more vaulted if they used the peaked roof system that we have in game versus using these flat roofs. But I understand that that might not be the aesthetic they're going for in their build. So, but it would have looked better in my opinion, if that makes any sense. And the other thing is, by doing the floor the way they did, they have these walls down on the floor level, and they have this gap up top, which I understand works fine for running your electricity, but there's easier ways to do it. Okay, so they have a kitchen, they don't have a bathroom of any kind. They have a vault that's in here with a vault door to nowhere. Um, we have a follower. I rate things on a scale of 1 to 10, as everybody knows, and I give you a point if you have a bathroom, and I give you 2 points if you use a pre-built structure in the game, or even a prefab, because I'm looking at your decorating score. Is this actually, how far out does this go before it kicks out? There we go. Okay, so, and as you can tell, the environmental thing seems to be working well for them. As you go in, it slowly starts to shift it. See this? Kind of cool, huh? It gives you that, eerie house on the hill type vibe. And I mean, so this one actually is a really nice house. It's built really well. It's put together well. Like I said, the only issue that I have with it really is the roof um, line and a few choices that they made when they were making their sunken floor. Again, they did a great job with it, so I can't really give them any hits for that. Their kitchen's a little bare bones. They could have done a bit more with that, but I'm not 100% sure what kind of budget they have, but they should have a lot left over. Unless that one thing eats a lot of budget, which it could, because I have never put one out yet. I'm not exactly sure how much it actually does hit your budget. But yeah, I'm going to give them a nice solid 7. It's a really nice build. I mean, it has potential to go even higher than that if they added a couple things and tweaked a few things around a little bit. I mean, it's a good basic build as far as the workshop goes. I mean, but if they incorporated like this stuff into the kitchen, for instance, like your chemistry bench or a cabinet with like stash box or a scrap box, and got some stuff out of the floor and hit a few things, you know what I mean? Just generally tweaked a few things to make it better. I could see it running as a 10, to be honest. But it would need a little bit of redecorating on the interior and a little bit of rejiggering on the exterior to get things to work the way that and yes, I said rejiggering. Um, but yeah, it's a nice build. Really is. And I mean, let me go ahead and switch that off. And we will toggle the menu and go up here for a minute and take a quick peek. And as you can tell, it's actually, it's put together rather well. It's in a good location. You're not going to get a lot of attacks here. What you are going to get is mole rats. And I do think, if I remember right, there is a lead node either up on this cliff where this thing is sitting at, or possibly down below it. But I can't be positive. But I'm fairly certain there's a lead node, like right in here somewhere. But it's a good spot. If you haven't built here, I mean, I built here once before. My whole goal was to build something that sat on the edge of this, like, outcropping right here. I had like a gazebo and stuff set up here, and the raider gazebo to be exact, and made it into a nice little raider fortification. It was actually really fun to build up to this location. Like I said, you hardly ever get attacked. The few things you do get attacked by are like mole miner, the occasional mole rat, and I did get attacked once by some sheep squatch, but that's you know, me. I have rotten luck when it comes to placing camps and out of the way locations. I almost always get attacked by something stupid like a sheep squatch. I'm gonna hit this one over here as my last camp, and it's steampunks, spunkters, steampunkters, zers, camp. We'll hit it real quick and see what we got. All right, steampunk zers. That's one thing I don't have that plushie on most of my characters. This stuff should be like, I'm glad to see somebody's pricing it high, but like it is actually a good thing to have if you've got it. I hardly ever sell it when I have it. The Addictol, they have really good prices on most things here. What did that do? Anything cool? Oh, it opened the door. Okay. And then I go in here. Did it close the door? No. What did that do?
Always nice to have visitors around here.
There's a computer. A little bit of office space as far as like, the stuff you need to run your camp. It looks like this is basically just a resource camp, maybe? Yeah, yeah, it's just a resource camp. That's a junk node. These are water. It's got a lot of guns, and I mean a lot of guns for a camp. And I mean a lot of guns for a camp. And I mean, we are in the mire, but are we in the mire? Yeah, I guess technically,
I just can't shake these nightmares. Floating in space forever.
yeah, I guess we are technically in the mire. But they really went out of the way with guns, and I understand that because this is also an area where the Scorch Beast likes to generally just spawn randomly and come pay a visit. But it's also near that location where the event goes off with the uh, sheep squatch that goes to this farm, which I can't remember the name of the event at the moment. But I mean, I don't know. So it's a resource camp. It's got a few, nice options. They obviously built it so they could fight from it if they needed to defend it. They wind up getting a lot of ghouls, I'm guessing, spawning in over at the hotel that kind of meander around and probably show up here eventually. Um, yeah, on a scale of 1 to 10, I'm only going to give this one a 3 because it's just a resource camp. It's not that it's poorly built. It's actually built as far as being a structure. It's fairly well built. Um, if I were him, I'd probably move my generator on the interior of my main house walls instead of using those concrete walls like that. And maybe use like them to reinforce the back wall or wherever I put my generator at and just hide everything on the interior that I could. Um, Hell, to be honest, if I was going to build this, I would probably take the
Oh, the
house,
glacier
shift it
region.
over, and put it over top of the
Still basically the same.
resource that I was getting out of the junk node, and have the whole thing built over top of the node, so that nothing could touch that either. And then I go ahead and just armor the hell out of it if this is I was trying to do. But yeah, yeah. So on a scale of 1 to 10, I'm giving it a 3. It's not a bad little camp for what it is. It's not really optimized well, as I pointed out, but it's done pretty well. I mean, the cool thing about it is it's right here. So, like, if you wanted to run over and, say, anger a zombie or two. Come on, friend. Come on, you can do it. You can do it. Maybe not. Oh, well, screw it. As I said, it's not the best location to place a camp, but it's not the worst location either. I just wanted to get a better view of it from up here. Wow. Super mutants attacking. I think that's what that is. Let's just take a quick peek. Yeah, I just, you know, thought I'd help out a little. Anyway, this has been Ren for Ren's Wasteland Camp Reviews / Dumpster Fires of the Commonwealth. If you like this kind of stuff, like and subscribe. If you don't, I'm not sure why you watched. Um, anyway, there's a contest on the channel if you have a camp that you'd like to submit. You have until the 29th of February, and it is a real simple contest where basically all you have to do is on your map build a location and pick a map icon that matches to the location that you're using. Start your video off with this image right here of the location so I know where you built it at and I can see what kind of camp I'm supposed to be seeing. And then give me a tour of it. That's it. That's the whole contest right there in a nutshell. I will judge the camps probably better than I do these here. I will have a video coming out within about 4 to 5 days after the contest is over. I'm going to try and make it 4. That's what I prefer to do. Um, and I will give you some highlights. So, yeah, that's what I'm working on. If you guys like and subscribe, that would be great. If you don't, I completely understand. If you want to participate in the contest, there should be a link in this video, and there should be a Discord link. Just go to the contest section on the Discord, submit your link, and you should be good to go. And if you need anything, like help filming it, or if you want me to come give you a quick rundown on it before the 29th, um, let me know. I will do so. You have a good day, and it's been fun.